Hey, so I received my premium Bandai Adventure box, or Digimon Adventure 02, the beginning set. So I just thought that would be fun to unbox it on camera. So I have gotten so many premium Bandai products before. I have not really unboxed them, but I figured, you know what, it would be fun to unbox it. Um, so I'm just so this is really my first unboxing video of a premium Bandai product. Typically, like really, these products are so huge that between my camera and my other equipment, it's just harder to unbox it. But let's see. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to continue cutting. Okay. So on the sides of the box, it says Digimon card game, Digimon Adventure 02, the beginning set. So on the right and left side of the box, it says that. On the front of the box, it says Bandai Namco, Bandai Card Games. And when you open the box, you get the actual storage box for cards. And it doesn't seem to appear that there's anything else. Like, you have these little inserts that will protect this storage box from damage. Okay, so I'm getting rid of this box. And we have the actual storage box. So Digimon card game, Digimon Adventure 02, the beginning set. Do not place this product on resin sofas, sheets, tiles, etc. Prolonged contact may result in color shifting. So it's very unlikely that it will shift color, but it's interesting that they put it on, just as a disclaimer. So I haven't opened this quite yet. I'm still just kind of looking around. But if this is the top of the box, the front side of the box has Armadillomon, Patamon, Gatomon, Hawkmon. Just still looking around. There's nothing on the right side. This is the back side of the box. And as expected, there's nothing on the left side. This is what the bottom of the box looks like. Now let's open this. And then on top of the box, we have Vmon, Ukamon, and Wormmon. Now let's open this up. Okay. So we have the special playmat. We have a cardboard insert. Or I should say it's more like a spacer. And then after taking out the card sleeves and the promo cards, there's nothing left in the storage box. So we'll set this aside for now as we look at the inside goodies. I do like these storage boxes, just so that I can hold a bunch of card bulk. So we have the special card sleeves. So these card sleeves do have gold foiling on them. I will open them and then actually reveal them in just a bit. These are the promo cards just from first impressions. It has a pretty nice rainbow foil on it. Okay. Yeah. And then if you look closer, you can kind of see like even more patterns on it. I'm trying to show it on camera. But you can kind of see like those little lines. Um, there are a lot of lines on this card, like from the Mega Def attack. But I will then put these aside for now. Yeah, this playmat is pretty big. I'm not quite sure what its size is. It might be 24 by 14. I do know that before these playmats were smaller, but then they got bigger. So I think that's 24 by 14. So you can see Dragon Mode and Fighter Mode together on the same playmat. I do like how it says Player 1, Player 2, and then the memory gauge, so you can actually use this playmat for memory gauge. I know that they started to add the playmat memory gauge, I believe, with the 2nd anniversary set. And then that was also the same time that I believe that they made the mats bigger. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I will definitely be using this at locals next time I come. Okay. Now, let's actually open a pack of these sleeves. There should be the 5 Ukamon sleeves at the bottom. Yep, these sleeves are pretty nice. I'm actually going to move my light source a bit closer. So, yeah, you can see Louis Iwata with Ukamon. There we go. It has focused. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice sleeve. The actual blue parts of the card sleeve, as I'm moving the card around, you can kind of see the light reflecting on it. They're really shiny. So it's like basically a white sleeve, but then like the art itself is like shiny, slightly holographic. You can see Kenji Watanabe's signature or autograph at the bottom right of the card, because this is a Kenji Watanabe art, I believe. And then here is a sleeve of the Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode. So it's not really quite the same holographicness as on the Ukamon sleeve. Like, this is kind of shiny, but not in the same way as this Ukamon sleeve, which kind of reflects light. Yeah, this is not really holographic, but honestly, let's see how they show card art. So I have some cards with me. I'm just going to grab a random card. So I have this Star Deck 2 Sunamon just on my desk. And I'm just going to put it in to see how obstructed the card art is. Not really obstructed. So I know that some card sleeves out there will kind of blur your card art. But yeah, these sleeves, you can basically see through it very well. So it doesn't really cloud your card art. So that's pretty good. I'm going to put these sleeves away for now. But I am pretty impressed with the Digi-Egg sleeves, honestly. I did not expect for them to be slightly holographic. Now I'm going to open the special promo cards. Okay. So I believe they get 2 of each of these promo cards. So you have the 6 adventure Digimon, then you also have like Ukomon, and then each of them with their respective tamers. So that's 7 Digimon, 7 tamers, plus you get this dragon mode, but then you get 2 of each. So then that's 7, 7 plus 1. So it's 15 times 2, so it's 30 cards. Yeah, so this is the Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode Ace. Yeah, pretty nice card. And you do get 2 of each. And you have this promo Vmon. So I noticed that the Adventure Digimon kind of have like this bubble art. I don't know how else to say this, but like they have like bubbles on their card art. So if you look closely, you can kind of see the textures on the Vmon art. So you get 2 of everything. So those are the Vmons. And then these are the Wormons. Hopefully the textures of the Wormon art will come through on camera. Kind of coming through, but not really on screen. But yeah, these cards do have different textures on them. Like the Wormon art has even more bubbles. You can kind of, yep, yeah. Now I'm getting it. Yeah. So the Wormon has a bunch of bubbles, like small bubbles in the texture. I'm going to go back to the Vmon, just because I found out that you can actually see the textures if I hold it super close to the camera. Yeah, this is much better. So you can see like the Vmon card has like these little elliptical spheres, and then all those spheres have grid like patterns on them. You can kind of see it, but they're kind of like ellipses. Or like elliptical spheres, I should say. Oh, okay. So the Hawkmon is kind of like square like, but like rounded squares. I'm holding it super close so then when the camera picks up, yeah, you can kind of see like these square like patterns, but they have like rounded edges on them. So this is the texture of the Hawkmon art. Like you can kind of see like a gem like square pattern. But yeah, this is the Hawkmon art. Pretty nice. And then Gatomon is like a cloud like squiggliness to them. Well, like this is a pretty nice texture. You can pretty easily see this one on camera. So it's like a puffy cloud that expands and gets bigger. But yeah, this is the art for the Gatomon. Oh, okay. I didn't really notice this with the other cards, but to be fair, I didn't really pay attention that much. But yeah, you can kind of see how there are different colors in the foiling, especially in the eyes. You can really notice it really well. But yeah, the foils are pretty nice. Just like the dragon mode. This is like kind of rainbow foiling. But yeah, I really like the texture on the Gatomon art. It's just like squiggles that expand, kind of like clouds. Ooh, Armadillomon has a really nice texture. So Armadillomon has like a bunch of lines that go straight down. So that is a pretty interesting texture. Kind of like scan lines. Ooh, Patamon. So similar to the Hawkmon, there are squares, but these squares are on their or like angled 90 or like not 45 degrees. So instead of being kind of like a square like shape or like square like pattern, it's almost like a diamond lattice. Hopefully you can kind of see on camera. Like this texture you can kind of see, but it's not as visible as the other textures on camera. And instead of being rounded squares, they're actually like very sharp lines. Um, Maybe if I go super close. Yeah, there we go. So the textures that are harder to see, as long as I go super close to the camera, you can kind of see it. But yeah, these are the patterns on the Padawan card. Ukomon. One of the cards I'm very looking forward to because I just made an Ukomon Rush deck. Hopefully. So Ukomon has like some swirls going on the card. You can kind of see a bunch of different swirls all around the card. So there's a really big swirl right above Ukomon's head to the right. There are some smaller swirls at the bottom of the card, but this card art has a bunch of swirls. So I do like how these different cards have different texture effects to make it pretty nice. So it's nicer, so you can look and mix and match, or like not mix and match, but like so they have variety. So this is the Davis Motomiya. Okay, I'm just looking at this off camera so I can kind of see what the textures look like myself. Yeah, so this is kind of like a hexagonal pattern. It looks hexagonal. Uh, there we go. We can kind of see it now. Like there's like a small little hexagon that surrounded by a bigger hexagon that's surrounded by a bigger hexagon. Like that connects with a different hexagon, and you can kind of see how on closer inspection there are just like a bunch of different hexagons surrounding each other. Um, there are also diamonds within the spaces of the hexagons. So maybe I go really close. There we go. The camera picked it up. But being so close to the camera, you can't really see. So I had to go down a little. But yeah, you can kind of see hexagons with like some rhombus's between the gaps of the hexagons. But that's the pattern of the Davis Motomiya card. This is actually one of the few times where I am very happy that my camera autofocuses. But yeah, this is actually helping me. So this Ken Ichijoji card, you can kind of see square like patterns, almost like gemstones. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a pretty nice foiling effect. Yolei Inoue. Ah, this is pretty nice. So, Yolei Inoue, there are basically squares, but then those squares have different etching directions. So then they produce like this windmill effect. So it's like yeah, you can kind of see it in real life, like physically you can see it much better, but these are squares. Like if I hold it a certain way so then the light reflects off the card, and you can kind of see that they're squares, but it is very more clear that they are producing a windmill effect because of the etching. So some of them are going. Actually, half of them are going the opposite way of the other. So you can very clearly see this windmill effect. But when you look at it from even afar, it looks kind of like shattered glass almost. So it's like a windmill effect going on with the card. If you look at it far enough away, it looks kind of like shattered glass. If you look at it really, really closely, you can notice squares tilted 45 degrees, I want to say. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty cool texture effect. Kari Kamiya. Oh, okay. Yeah. So these have this has a bunch of circles. This is actually similar to, I believe, the texture effects on promo. I want to say Vmon, or it could be Ukamon, or like maybe several promos from the movie had like the circular texture effect. But you can see a whole bunch of circles. There's Gatomon, Karikamiya. Oh, if you look kind of closely at the bottom, then you can kind of see squares. Oh, actually, no. I didn't really realize, but the other Tamer cards also had squares at the bottom. Um, but yeah, so the Kari Kamiya has a whole bunch of circles, and then those circles have smaller textures on them. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, those are the textures on the Kari Kamiya card. Cody Hida. Oh, okay. So it's like a whole bunch of squares that basically surround the smaller squares, like it makes a bigger square. Hopefully this shows up on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So it's like squares, kind of like floor tiles or ceiling tiles at in some buildings, or like even like in older buildings, I should say. Like if you look at a building and like you see like a tile, and then like that tile is like a square, and like it is surrounded by a bigger square. So yeah, that is a really good shot of like the square. You can kind of see that it's also cut by a slant. So you can kind of see that produces a really nice effect. But basically, they're oh yeah, it's because of the etching as well. So similar to the other card, it's because of the etching that you can kind of see that contrast that makes it look hopefully. Yeah. So you can see that's because of the etching that this card is able to produce like this really cool optical illusion. TK Takaishi. Oh, okay, this is a pretty simple design, but also pretty nice. And this also takes advantage of etching to produce negative space. So yeah, this is probably the more simple of the Tamer card designs. It's just a bunch of big squares, or like not a bunch of big squares, but like a few, a small amount of big squares, and then because of the way that the etching is done on this card, some of the squares seem more prominent than others, or they kind of like have like a slight shadow effect or 3D effect. So yeah, this is the TK Takaishi card. There we go. Like you can definitely see that there are some squares, but they look different just because mainly of the etching. Louis Awada. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. Okay. So Louis Awada, you can see a bunch of small shapes. And then those small shapes form like a pattern. I'm just going to look at it again. They're like small triangles that form hexagons. Focus. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see the many small triangles. And if you look at it like in this angle, you can see that it forms small little hexagons. And again, they take advantage of the etching to make this card really nice. But yeah, those are the cards from the Adventure 02 box set. They are really nice. I am really impressed with how they handled the textures on these cards. So they have different textures, so then they feel nice. It's like the different textures make it more fun. So even if you're running several of them in a deck, then you have different textures on the card to appreciate. But yeah, I am really excited for these cards. I have waited for them for a long time, as did everyone else who also pre-ordered them. I know that they came live in October for pre-orders. I think that I waited a bit. I placed my order in November. But yeah, finally, it is honest. It's just the beginning of July. But it took me, close to 7 months and a week to get these cards. I'm really excited. They did reprint the promos again. So like in the Adventure Box 03, they had these promo cards, which I didn't really pick up too many of. I wasn't even planning on picking them up at all, because I had these promo cards incoming. But because I just picked them up on a whim, I have some of the colored border promo cards. But these full art cards are admittedly very nice. I yeah, they look much nicer IRL than they do just behind a computer screen. Because like on the computer screen, you see it on TCG Player, you see it on Premium Bandai, where they just have like the card art, like they don't have the textures of the card art to really show you. Like even now, you can see it on camera. Like even if they're not really up close, you can see that they're really textured. Like You can see the squares off of this Cody Hida tamer. You can you can see the little patterns off of this Ken Ichijoji. You can see like the rainbow foil coming off of like the Hawkmon, the Wormmon especially. You don't really see these things when you're just like looking at TCG Player or on Premium Bandai, but honestly, these cards look a lot nicer than they appear from those still images. But yes, I am happy that I finally got my Premium Bandai sets. I did recently make an Ukamon Rush deck, so I am looking forward to the Ukamon and Louis a lot. But I also have other decks in the works too. I have created other lists, although I did not really show them on YouTube, or I haven't used them in DCGO, but I do have other lists in the makings. So I am excited for almost all of these promo cards. Really, I am using a large amount of them in some way. There are some that I'm currently not using, but yeah, this was a pretty fun unboxing. I am really happy that my camera was able to pick up the textures of the cards. So without further ado, I will end this video and I will happily sleeve up some cards. So thank you for watching. I will see you all later.